Some of the most loyal, loving, and emotionally intense women you'll ever meet are also the ones who've been hurt the most. And when a guy doesn't understand that history, he misreads everything. He thinks, she's too emotional, she's overreacting, or just playing games. But what he's actually seeing is a residue of trauma. Hey, maybe she grew up in chaos. Maybe she was betrayed by someone she trusted. Maybe she spent years loving people who didn't protect her, and now she's met you. And you may think, well, we're just dating, right? But in many ways, you're also dating every experience that taught her how unsafe love can feel. Today, I'm going to show you 5 powerful ways to love a woman with a traumatic past without losing your self-respect, your confidence, or your sanity. And please bear with me. I do have some work going on in my house, so if you hear any creeping sounds, that's what it is. I'll be right back. Jessica OS here, welcome to the channel. So today we're going to talk about why emotional safety matters more to her than attraction, why consistency matters more than grand gestures, why patience is attractive but tolerance for chaos is not, why you must become a stable emotional anchor, and finally, the most important mistake men make when they try to love someone who has been hurt before. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to support her without becoming her emotional punching bag. Safety comes before attraction. When you're dealing with a woman who has been hurt before, the first thing you need to understand is that her emotional operating system is different from what most men expect. Yes, a lot of guys approach relationships assuming that attraction is the primary driver of everything else that follows. You tend to believe that if the chemistry is strong enough, and if the dates are exciting enough, and there's enough sexual tension, then the relationship will naturally progress into something deeper. But when a woman has experienced betrayal, abandonment, emotional manipulation, or instability in past relationships, attraction is never the first filter. The first filter becomes safety. This is an important distinction because it explains behavior that many men misinterpret. A woman who's been hurt before might clearly enjoy your company. She might laugh with you, flirt with you, even show strong signs of attraction. Yet at the same time, she may hesitate to fully invest emotionally. She may pull back suddenly, slow down the pace of the relationship, or become cautious just when things seem to be going well. To the average man, it sends conflicting messages, but often what's happening is simpler and much deeper. Her mind is trying to determine whether this connection is safe. When someone has been emotionally wounded in the past, their brain becomes highly sensitive to signals that might indicate danger. And this isn't something that she consciously decides to do. It's a protective response that kind of develops over time. Her mind begins scanning for patterns that resemble the situations that hurt her before. Broken promises, sudden changes in behavior, emotional inconsistency, or pressure to move too fast can trigger that sense of alarm. And that's why some women appear warm and open one moment and guarded the next. Her interest may be genuine, but her caution is equally real. She wants connection, but she also wants protection. A man who doesn't understand this dynamic often makes one of 2 mistakes. The first one is impatience. He interprets her caution as rejection and begins pushing harder for reassurance, right? He might begin to pressure her to open up, ask repeatedly whether she trusts him, or try to convince her that he is different from all the other guys who hurt her in the past. And funny enough, this approach usually has the opposite effect. Trust is not something that can be argued into existence. It's something that forms slowly through observation. You see, when you push trust too early, it can feel like emotional pressure, which only reinforces that instinct she has to protect herself. The second mistake men make is withdrawing their effort completely. And I get it. When they sense hesitation, they assume that the relationship is going nowhere and pull away emotionally. But in many cases, what she needed was not distance, but time. The reality is that trust grows through patterns. A woman who's been hurt before watches what a man does over time. She notices whether he behaves consistently. She notices whether his actions align with his words. She pays attention to whether his character remains steady when situations become stressful or even uncomfortable. And these patterns gradually answer the questions her mind is asking. Is this guy emotionally stable? Is he reliable? Does he handle conflict in a mature, calm manner, or does he become unpredictable? Can I relax around him? Do I have to stay guarded? You see, when a man consistently demonstrates emotional stability, she slowly begins to relax around him. And that's why emotional safety is so powerful. Consistency is more powerful than romance. Most men are taught that the way to win a woman is through intensity. They believe that attraction grows when they impress her with bold gestures, expensive dates, dramatic expressions of affection, or constant attention. Movies reinforce this idea. So does social media. Even a lot of dating advice reinforces it, but when a woman has been hurt before, these displays of romance often don't have the same effect you expect. In fact, sometimes it triggers suspicion rather than trust. And you see, this happens because trauma reshapes how someone evaluates emotional signals. For example, if a woman has experienced relational